Does the war in Iran have anything to do with core inflation? Or you can't answer that, or either, or are we precluded from asking that?
John Larson just watched a Treasury Secretary refuse to admit the United States is at war. Larson asks the simplest question imaginable: are we at war? Scott Bessent dodges. The conflict has been halted. Larson presses, so we're not at war? Bessent deflects again, offers to call the Secretary of War. Then Bessent insists Americans are better off because core inflation dropped, even as gas prices spike. Larson's incredulity boils over. Should his constituents be doing cartwheels in the street over the price of gas? Gas is part of core inflation. The war drove it up, and the Treasury Secretary won't even say the word war while Americans go into battle and lose their lives. Watch this. If you want to support the channel and get exclusive videos, kindly hit the join button below. That's how we keep this going.
Thank you, and thank you, Secretary, for joining us here today. It's always kind of unusual when you start a hearing and are instructed what you can say or can't say in an open and free democracy. But having said that, you mentioned in your testimony core inflation a couple of times. What's the difference between core inflation and inflation?
Many people believe, or it is in general, energy prices and food prices, which are much more fast-moving. And I would say that energy prices will roll down when this Iran conflict ends.
So is gasoline considered part of core inflation?
Yes, sir.
It is. So those remarks, core inflation reflects gasoline prices.
Core inflation reflects the underlying trend in inflation and whether that inflation has become endemic to the system as it did during President Biden.
Has the war in Iran had anything to do with core inflation?
Sir?
Does the war in Iran have anything to do with core inflation? Or you can't answer that, or either, or are we precluded from asking that?
Well, I'm not sure what the question is.
Let me make it as simple as I can. Does the war in Iran, are you with me? Has the war in Iran
thus far
have witnessed the rise in gas prices as it caused?
Well, again, that is the regular inflation. And gas prices have gone up, which I believe will be temporary.
So gas prices have gone up, but you believe they're temporary.
Core inflation has dropped 0.5% since President Trump came to office.
Geez, you know, when I'm home in my district, I'm going to just tell those people, geez, you know what? You missed this whole thing. Don't you understand core inflation? You guys are better off. I mean, these gas prices, I don't know what you people are thinking out there. For God's sake, you know, you should be doing cartwheels in the street over the price of gas. So what is the administration's plan to lower gas prices?
We've taken the many.
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have moved to.
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We would like to work.
Are you able to answer that, or is that not answered?
Well, if I'm not interrupted, I can, Congressman.
Well, I'm waiting for your answer.
We have asked Congress to move to eliminate the gas tax. That is done through statute.
You have moved that. So you're in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have asked for that.
So we can join bipartisanly today because you're in favor to eliminate the gas tax?
Again, the White House has asked for it, sir.
They have? Why isn't it before the committee for a vote?
I don't run the agenda.
Well, it's good to hear that we're in favor of something that we can work on bipartisanly that will help relieve people who need it the most. Forgive me, but people in my district aren't doing cartwheels over this economy. They haven't seen the impact that you claim that they're all receiving. People hear a lot of rhetoric, et cetera, but that doesn't pay their grocery bills. That doesn't pay their heating costs. That doesn't put fuel in their tanks. That doesn't help them get through the day-to-day grind of their lives. And so coming here and filling us with platitude and telling us how grateful we should be to the Trump administration for everything that it's done,
Well, Congressman,
is this war responsible for any of this?
Congressman, food at home is up 2.5% since President Trump took office.
Are we at war currently?
Which is twice.
Are we at
It's up
war
twice that much
currently?
every year under the Biden administration.
Are we at war currently?
That the conflict has been halted.
The conflict has been halted. So we're not at war.
Special military.
So our military is not involved. We're not at war.
Again, if you would like for me to call the Secretary of War, I can ask. I'm the Secretary
So
of
as part of the
Treasury.
administration and as part of this, we're not at war. How in God's name, if we can't answer any questions at all, and I don't know, maybe there were some special orders where we're not allowed to these questions or not, we ought to make that clear. Are we at war or not? I'm asking as relation to the cost of going up for oil and gas. That hasn't risen? Has it risen because of the war?
It did rise because of the conflict, yes, sir.
The conflict. So that's what we call it. Our people go into battle and lose their lives.
Mr. Larson, your time has expired.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary, nice to have you back before our committee. Mr. Secretary, do you believe that all Americans should follow our tax laws?
Yes, Congressman.
Yes, good, so do I. And do you believe that for those Americans who break our tax laws, they should be audited or held accountable?
Well, I think there are two things there. An audit is not a result of breaking the law.
Yes or no? Simple question.
Well, no, it's not
Do
a
you
simple
think-
question. It's a
Okay,
two-part
then let
question.
me break it into two. Do you
If
think
you're
they
asking
should?
me, if you're asking me,
Please don't
should every
interrupt
taxpayer
me.
be audited?
Please answer that. I came here for answers. If you came here to waste time, I'm going to try to make sure you don't do that. Do you believe that people who lie on their tax returns should be audited?
Yes.
Okay, do you think that people who break our laws should be held accountable, our tax laws?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Very simple. Not a hard question. I'm glad we agree. So why is it that you are allowing President Trump to have complete immunity from being audited?
Again, I'm going to have to refer you to my previous statements, and
What was your previous statement,
that
sir?
I am unable to comment on any of the ongoing litigation.
Okay, can you name the ongoing case concerning President Trump's immunity from audit?
Sorry?
Can you name,
There are three cases.
Can you name them,
that-
please?
That are out there now, and I will be happy to get back to you on those, because again, I am not a lawyer.
Okay.
We are represented by the DOJ.
Great, you said that you can't because there's ongoing litigation. You'll get me the name of the ongoing litigation, because the only ongoing litigation that I know of is surrounding the $1.8 million slush fund, which has already been suspended. The fact is that the judge's ruling in the litigation that references that slush fund only addresses the anti-weaponization fund. It doesn't even address Trump's immunity from audit. So I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the judge's order in the Floyd versus Department of Justice case.
Without objection.
Thank you. Now, Secretary, you said you're not an attorney, is that correct?
Mercifully.
Okay, well, I am, and I'm actually proud to be an attorney and know the laws, and I know how to read a judicial ruling. Furthermore, I know that since 1962, the Supreme Court has held that ongoing litigation does not prevent someone from testifying in a congressional hearing. So once again, I'm going to ask, why are you allowing President Trump and his family to have complete immunity from being audited?
Again, since you're a lawyer, you will understand that the U.S. Treasury and the IRS are represented by the Justice Department and the Acting Attorney General.
Yes, but I just mentioned a Supreme Court case that doesn't bar you from testifying. It's pretty clear to me, though, however, that you're not interested in answering questions. You're interested in arguing. Let me ask you this question. If President Biden amended a prior tax return and claimed that he was owed $1 billion, Do you think that that would be audited, or should it be audited?
I'm not going to talk about any.
Because you're not really here to
I'm not
answer
gonna-
questions.
I
don't
am
understand
here,
why
and
you wouldn't
you're
audit
here.
that, and I don't understand why you wouldn't do the same for President Trump. So the ruling
Do you have
The ruling
specific-
by the
do you-
Justice Department,
Do you have
excuse
specific
me.
knowledge of an audit of President Trump?
Excuse me. It's my time.
You have specific
You're not here to
knowledge?
ask me questions. I'm here to ask you questions, and hopefully you're here to try to answer some of them. I'm curious to know who counts as Trump's family for the purposes of this immunity. Is it his children, his in-laws, his grandchildren, his second or third cousin, his great-great-grandchildren? Do you know the answer to that question, Mr. Secretary?
Again, I imagine you have the Justice Department phone number. I suggest you call them.
I'm not the one that runs the Department of the Treasury or that oversees what is happening with this immunity
And
that has been granted.
I'm not the one either. We follow the instructions of our lawyers, and we obey the law,
I hope that
Representative.
you're proud of your performance today, Mr. Secretary,
well,
because
I hope you get some
I think
social
it's
media
pretty
clips.
safe to say that this is probably the most corrupt Treasury Department in our nation's history. And while
I
you,
am going to
while you
have to
dance
take
around questions
exception
to
with that.
protect
That is a
Trump,
slanderous
Americans
statement.
are suffering
That is a
in Trump's
slanderous
spiraling
statement.
economy.
And
Inflation is now rising faster than average hourly wages.
Nah.
Gas prices are at an all-time high with the war in Iran. The cost of groceries has risen 3.2% over the past years, and prices on most goods have gone up because of Trump's tariffs. So I don't see how you could call that anything other than a failure of the most corrupt Treasury Department in history.
Your time has expired, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you. My
I'm not
time
gonna
has
take-
expired.
I'm not gonna
Secretary,
take
I would love for you to
firefighting hits.
respond to the accusations at your department, because I think you are due.
Let's be absolutely clear about what John Larson just exposed. The Treasury Secretary of the United States stood before Congress and refused to acknowledge two basic realities: that gas prices have risen because of the Iran war and that the United States is even at war at all. Instead, he hid behind the technical term core inflation to tell suffering Americans they should be grateful. Larson approaches this hearing as a teacher and a man who understands working families. His district isn't doing cartwheels over the economy. They're paying grocery bills, heating costs, and fuel prices. So when Bessent tries to reassure him with abstractions, Larson cuts through it. The exchange begins with economics. Bessent repeatedly invokes core inflation to argue Americans are better off. Larson asks a precise question: what's the difference between core inflation and regular inflation? Bessent's own answer reveals the dodge. Core inflation excludes the fast-moving categories like energy and food. In other words, it excludes exactly the gas and grocery prices hurting families most. Larson establishes that gas prices have gone up. Bessent claims it's temporary. Larson's sarcasm lands hard. He says when he goes home to his district, he'll tell people they've missed the whole thing. They should be doing cartwheels in the street over the price of gas. Then comes the gas tax. Larson asks directly, is the administration in favor of eliminating the gas tax? Bessent dodges repeatedly until finally confirming the White House has asked Congress to eliminate it. Larson seizes the rare bipartisan opening, offering to work together on something that would actually help people. But he notes it isn't even before the committee for a vote. But the most remarkable moment is Larson's simplest question: are we at war? Bessent won't say it. He says the conflict has been halted. Larson presses, so we're not at war. Is our military involved? Bessent deflects, offering to call the Secretary of War as if he, a member of the president's own cabinet, has no knowledge of whether the nation is at war. Larson's frustration finally erupts. How in God's name if we can't answer any questions at all? Wondering aloud whether there were special orders barring these questions. The reason the question matters is economic and moral at once. Larson is connecting the war directly to the gas prices Bessent won't discuss honestly. He asks, has the price of oil and gas risen because of the war? And finally, Bessent admits it. Yes, prices rose because of the conflict. Larson seizes the euphemism one last time. The conflict. So that's what we call it. Our people go into battle and lose their lives. That's the heart of it. A Treasury Secretary so committed to protecting the administration's narrative that he won't use the word war, even as American service members die in it and American families pay for it at the pump. Larson, the history teacher, refuses to let the language disguise the truth.